Hello! Welcome everyone to the College of Inspiration, where we seek to inspire you with our role-playing adventures. Today we are continuing our Arkpoint campaign, our fantasy urban noir, with Scarlet Song, JuniperFinch, Rain, and Alexander Chronist.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
I
really?
might
I don't
be.
believe it.
Few quick announcements. As always, our wonderful character sprite art was done by Scarlet Song again, and
You're welcome.
our NPC art, you see, was done by the wonderful Eldritch Flatcap, who has joined us in the chat today. Love you, Eldritch. Also,
Mwah.
shout out to our merch store,
Yeah.
where you can get a lot of cool stuff that is all Arkpoint related. We got buffer steak aprons, we got a big blanket of the map, mugs and t-shirts of the characters. Awesome stuff. All designed, once again, by the fantastic film Scarlet Song.
She works hard.
Yes, she does, even if we tell her not.
Yeah.
Especially
try it.
then, actually. Mhm.
It's true.
confirm.
It's true. You can't physically restrain me. You have to guilt me with jokingly be like, "Hey, you want to catch up for coffee?" And that's how you get me, because I get the social anxiousness takes over. Strats.
So, which is why we're here role playing in a public setting.
I want to call out your friends when you can just call out yourself like that.
If I wasn't
Good
honest,
to know yourself.
I wouldn't be.
When you finally find that person that's been ruining your life.
No, wait, it's
Of
me.
course I know it. It's me.
Just want a quick kind of apology just for we couldn't play last week, so we're making up for it this week, and then we'll be back on our 2-weekly schedule starting next week. So
Hype.
it'll be we got today's session, then next week's session, and then every 2 weeks after that. Hopefully, as everything goes well.
Yeah, Alexander.
Sorry, you inadvertently quoted my favorite Star Wars quote out of every film, which is the stupid extra line of Obi-Wan where he goes, "Oh, of course I know him. He's me." It's like, you don't need to say that. You could be a normal human being about it, right? It's okay.
This is George Lucas's writing. You can't get better than this.
I blame Mr. Guinness, actually.
Yeah, the delivery was perfect.
The delivery's good.
You extra bitch.
That is for who did it? Anyway.
You've been living in the moment. Anyway. I think that's everything for we need here. Nothing else coming to mind, so shall we get into it?
Sure. I'm not panicking.
Give me back my boy.
Thank you.
So, last time on Arkpoint, Janus found himself tied up in the dark, along with his new friend Azalea. Unsure of where they were, they tried making some headway on getting out of the restraints. They were unsuccessful. Meanwhile, out in the city, Scoop was given a job by Janus's father. Has hired him to find out where Janus is. At the same time, the accountant was also given a very similar job to find the missing Azalea. His father has ties to fellow. They got in contact with each other. And Miss Cotta met up track down where these missing are. And that's where we are. I'm going in. Oh, damn it. Alright. Thank you for letting me know my levels were a bit low. I'll try and enunciate more, and I've turned my gain up a bit, so that should help. So that's where we find ourselves. Miss Cotta, the accountant, and Scoop were all... they had all met up at Scoop's office, last I remember.
Mi casa is a suit casa.
Before or after the accountant's broken the door handle off? And your only other pair to your glassware.
Door handle had it coming.
It had it coming. To be fair, how Scoop treats his bloody office. And his chairs.
Actually, let's just move ourselves. Where do I control this? There's there. Let's move ourselves to Scoop's office, shall we? Where did I put Scoop? Right at the bottom. That's. Here we go.
We'd just left Scoop's office, I believe,
Okay.
and we were out because we looked out onto the like
The ocean.
lighthouse noir vibe TM.
Yes.
Got a good view.
So what is the plan? You guys, from what I remember, you were thinking of both visiting Ivani Sidorano, Azalea's father, who works as at an accounting firm. And we're also thinking of heading back to the Fox's Glove, the bar owned by Ricky, which was the last place Janus and Azalea were seen.
I believe so.
If I remember correctly, I think we had loosely agreed that the accountant would be the first one.
Oh yes, the other accountants that we keep making the accidental discombobulated things of, yes.
Sorry, the Sidarano? Apologies once again.
Sidorano.
Sidarano, thank you.
I also
This
love
is-
that everyone looked to. Sorry, I loved that no one could see this, but every single player scrambled for their notepads. I was like, oh yeah, notes.
Fantastic.
I believe we'd agreed that we were going to them first because there's a chance that a bar wouldn't be open in the middle of the day. So, not delaying the inevitable or anything. Yep.
Definitely makes sense to me.
I think in which case, we probably make a quick track towards there. I don't think
Miss Cotta will likely be putting on. There's like a whisper in the hat, and she'll likely be putting on the guise of Miss Cutter, the sweet, innocent looking. Which, let's be honest with ourselves, putting next to these two is still strangely a strange addition, regardless.
I have placed the disguise on you.
Yes, thank you. No one will ever know my name, as every good superhero should know this. The moment that my upper cheekbones and eyebrows are covered, that means that no one knows who I am, right?
Yeah. There is no distinguishing features showing through that eye mask.
Absolutely none. Signature hair or pointy down ears or anything.
Just
those...
yeah, just a note
Just
to
a
the
note.
stream that little thing is just there to indicate. Miss Cotta has a hat of disguise, but rather than
It's just a hat.
yeah, Well,
But
rather than have so many different character sprites, Scarlet shown some restraint for once.
Yeah,
not
it took
initially
some
though.
convincing.
Did.
What
But
was restrained?
guys, like we already called me out at the start of stream. We don't need to keep doing it. So,
Yes, Miss Cotta has adopted a disguise.
Miss Cotta, for those who have not interacted with Arkpoint before, the disguise she wears still a dark elf, still braids, basically enough to be almost cousin-like, but the details are just off. The braids are a little bit shorter, the ears point up instead of down, and she's just got this very innocent look to her face, despite the deadpan voice that's coming out of her throat. She's a little bit just perkier, way less tired looking. Let's just say that it's like before and after copy. If we be honest, that's the vibe, 100%. But all of the individuals within the party recognize this as her guys. Well,
Scoop.
look, this is the
Scoop.
Scoop has seen this. Scoop was around. Definitely. You were there.
But can Scoop actually spot the difference in these two images?
Honestly, that's a
Does
good
Scoop
point.
have object permanence?
Does Scoop have object permanence?
That's only
Or
Genuine
does
question.
Miss Cotta just have a really weird twin sister situation?
Well, given how the opening of the first season went, Scoop doesn't.
Yes. You adopt this disguise, and you make your way out of Scoop's office, across, past all the shark tooth warehouses, and across a bridge into Wallside.
All sad, Kay.
Yeah, and then go through the wall into Old Town, where you know this accounting firm is. It caters to quite wealthy people, so it is situated in the more upper class, sort of old money part of town.
Once
Felt
we're
too
in
poor to
old,
be here.
as we're walking kind of through this section, I do look to the other two. Who should be taking lead on this one?
Well,
I'm just the maid.
That's a
well,
fair point.
I feel like I have some good questions I can ask. What's your name? Where do you live? When was the last time you saw your child? When was the last time you saw our child? Those kind of things.
Do you have any enemies?
Anyone who might want to cause you harm?
I will perhaps back you up in your line of questioning, Mr. Scoop.
I think that'll be quite good. Scoop looks up at you.
As Miss Cotta, for her part, goes, I'll tuck in probably behind you. I don't know if I should. Do I look like? Am I supposed to be opening an account? Like, I don't. We're
Well-
running out of time. It's been going for more than a half day now. I'm worried about him.
I'll list you as a concerned party. I scribbled that in my notes.
Concerned is accurate, Scoop. In fact, your blasé attitude is honestly concerning. I'm glad that you can keep a sense of professionalism about you, but my goodness, you're not worried at all.
I have to
Miss
stay
Cotta,
objective in these trying times.
Yes.
as you have said, it has only been half a day. He is not an incapable person. He's not an idiot. He knows well. And I would be surprised if he was not already trying to figure his own way out as we speak, of whatever situation he finds himself in.
I know. He's just so young.
He may be perhaps a bit older than you think he is.
To be fair, I don't actually know how old he is. How do human aging work?
Slowly,
Is it?
compared to me at least.
Fair, same. I don't. It's
Perhaps
kinda
not as
starts
slowly
making
as
num-
you.
To be fair, I barely know how old I am. You stop counting, mostly.
Hey, same.
Anyway, we're wasting time. If you are taking point, take point. But what do you want us to do in the meantime? The accountant has gestures at the entirety of the accountant, a presence that can convince most people to give up what they're actually wanting to say, or what you need them to. But I'm just a
Well,
maid.
actually, in fact, a maid has a very interesting, how would you say, charisma about you. In fact, I would find that a lot of people will talk to you where they will not talk to me.
Because I'm less scary or something.
Yes,
Not that you're
actually.
scary, dear.
Fair. But my point's rather, me and Scoop can speak with the man himself. Other people perhaps who work there, his partner, the mother of this person, they are maybe more willing to give up information that is less desirably shared.
Oh, that's fair.
I could perhaps scare it out of them, but I don't think that would be the best choice.
Understood. Well, I'll run to the sides, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we can always run the classic good cop, bad cop, not a cop.
I'm not a cop. I'm like literally hardly a cop. I'm
Oh, no,
just a maid.
I'm not a cop. You're a good cop.
No, but you're the more slowful amongst us.
That's...
Probably.
We can run
I
with
mean-
that. I mean, I can't pretend to not be a cop.
Wait, are you a cop?
No, that's why I can't pretend, because it would be real. The only one here who can pretend to not be a cop is the cop.
My head hurts.
Oh, look, I think the building's just up here on the left. Let us go in.
Yes, conveniently, you've just arrived at the.
I missed this.
You arrive at the accounting firm. It is an old building, but so is most of Old Town. That is still well built and held together. Large wooden doors, wide open, sort of open to a lobby inside. There's probably about 3 stories to this building. As you enter the lobby, it's well lit, and you basically just see along the sides of the corridors going down to what you assume is offices, and on the back wall is a desk with a receptionist.
Without hesitation, I will continue towards the desk.
All right.
Same.
The young half-elven woman at the desk looks up and is like, "Oh yes, can I help you?"
Do you want to go, or shall I?
We're here to speak to Mr. Avani Sedorano. Would you tell him we are here, please? My name is the accountant.
May I ask what the business you were talking to him is about?
No.
Okay.
What he said.
Miss Cotta, for her part, peeks out from behind the very tall accountant and is just like, with a face of, you should just go along with it, trust me.
The woman doesn't actually seem to notice Miss Cotta. She's too busy kind of staring at the accountant, and then gets up and runs down the hallway.
I see what you mean about... Alright. I'm going to step a little bit to the left, so...
Perhaps you'll have some information of people who have come and gone. Any individuals of suspect,
Oh, understood.
someone had to deliver the letter. Perhaps they tried here first. Mr. Scoop, how are you feeling?
You can
Fine.
continue the investigation. I kind of want to see where this leads.
After about a minute,
Quick question out of like character.
Mhm.
Has she left the room?
Yes.
Is there anyone else in the room?
No one you can see.
Does she have like any papers or anything in front of her desk, or like a notepad of some kind?
Yeah, she's got some files and stuff.
But is there like I was wondering if there's like a schedule that I could lean forward and like have a look to see who's come to visit.
That's a good move.
Yeah. If you want to give me a quick investigation.
Alrighty. Let me have a look. The investigation is. That's an 11.
It's not hard to find. There is like a schedule book. It seems to list like what accountants are working each day and if they have meetings and stuff. Any particular information you're looking for?
To see who might have visited this person, and if they if any of the names jump out to me, or I'll quickly pick it up and show it to my accountant friend, see if any of it jumped out to him as well.
Fair enough.
But I'm still picking up forwards so that the paper would be facing the person behind the desk, so it's upside down.
Luckily, I've spent a long time reading upside down.
I'm legit picturing him hanging from a chain, swaying while reading something.
I mean, where's the lie though?
No, he's doing those sit-ups where his legs are hooked over a bar and he's reading a book.
He's like,
You must strengthen the body and the mind.
Right.
Do I recognize any of the names if I can read them?
I'm gonna say you can. Though it is a pretty cluttered thing. Give me a quick intelligence check. Flat.
As an accountant, does he get an advantage? Because
Nah, he gets a nat 20, baby. He doesn't need advantage.
Yeah, you can definitely.
Yeah.
You managed to take in this information pretty well. I suppose give me a history check though as well to see if you recognize any of these names. I assume you're looking for names tied to the Atello family, or just any. Yeah.
That would probably be how I'd know them, but any criminal ties specifically is what I am looking for.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not going to believe this.
Another nat 20.
Another nat 20.
Oh shit!
The session's starting off strong.
I would like to stop rolling dice from this point onwards.
Wow, you're on a hot streak.
Yeah, I quit while I'm ahead. I'm the accountant. I know how this works.
Let me check my notes here. Yeah, none of these, none of the names, there are definitely some names you recognize from, some of the higher ups in the Atello family who deal with more financial things.
No red flags, particularly.
No particular red flags. No.
Okay.
I suppose then I would like to try and just keep that mental note in the back of my head as to which people I am aware of who utilize this service.
Yeah.
It just could be helpful.
And Scoop is going to take a physical note.
All right.
And then he's going to overlay a page and rub some black chalk over it so there's an imprint.
Yep.
I thought exam and I was concerned.
As
Quickly put it back.
yeah, as you're
I would say that Miss Cotta was keeping watch during all of this with the, oh my goodness.
yeah, as you're putting it back, you hear the door down the corridor close, and the receptionist comes back and she says, just down the hall, third left.
Thank you very much for your help.
You're welcome.
I will turn kind of in a little bit of a more, I don't know, grandiose gesture, perhaps, or a little bit more for showish, towards Miss Cotta. Would you care to stay and wait here, or would you prefer to follow?
Depends. Do we need to know if he's lying?
This is like the receptionist is like what, 5 feet from us at this point, kind of thing.
Yeah, she sat back down at her desk, so it depends on how far you've moved away from the desk.
If it's like Miss Cotta's like, no, I don't do field work. You kidding me? Which would
Very
you
well, then.
prefer? I can help there, or I can hang back. It's just I'm not a particularly. She just does the weird little like shruggy dance that one does when they're kind of like, well, I'm here. Yeah.
Fair enough then. Mr. Scoop and I shall head inside, if you wouldn't mind. Just keep an eye on things here and so forth. We shouldn't be around.
Sure thing.
Oh, and if the suspect tries to run, stop. And I
There-
turn to get into the door.
With like as an incredulous look as they're leaving, I think she slow turns to the receptionist, being like, "Did you just see that?"
Yeah, the receptionist has a very confused look on their face. They're like, this has been a very weird interaction overall.
To which Miss Cotta goes, "Do you get that sort of thing often?"
No. That's very odd. I mean,
Oh,
we get some
yeah.
some strange, sort of eccentric rich people, but not that often, definitely.
Oh, that's not the weirdest one that's come in the last week. No offense intended. They're not bad people, but I'm just a maid. I'm here to keep notes and stuff, and carrying them into my pack as if they can't do it themselves with their bloody muscles.
Yes. No, yeah, rich people just don't seem to be able to function without other people doing jobs for them, can they?
Tell me about it. You poor thing. You must be exhausted. Have you been that busy?
No more than usual. Yeah, work as usual. There was, we had a bit of an interesting time last week.
Oh,
Or was it 2 weeks ago now?
sort of crazy, sort of rich person gone bad, or
No, kind of someone. I mean, give me a.
I'm giving off the air of like two bitchy individuals complaining about people that have way too much money and not enough sense.
Yes,
With
I
like
get this.
air of like, with the air of like, I'm here as a sympathetic neutral ear, and if like, do I look like I'm going to tell anyone?
Before I just, as much as I love this roleplay, I'm gonna have to make you make
Yeah,
a
no,
roll.
it's fine.
So,
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
please give me a persuasion.
persuasion. You'll say.
Yes, or deception if you want that better. Because you're kind of.
I think that it's like halfway neutral, so I'll
Yeah.
say that persuasion's probably better because Miss Cotta is actually genuinely being like, "Are you okay? Are
Yeah.
they treating you right? Do I need to talk to someone?" Right? Ooh, okay, not bad, not the best, but not bad. I forgot I had a decent persuasion, so about 15.
15 is really good. Yeah, no, this receptionist seems to open up to you. Yeah, no, it was just a someone who, I'm not 100% on the details, but they were definitely sort of, they'd gotten angry at Mr.
Angry?
Sidorano, or
Oh no, they didn't take it out on you, did they?
no, they just sort of, there was a bit of a shouting match, and he
Oh,
was told to leave.
goodness. He
So-
was. Oh, actually, should I keep an eye out? What kind of person?
He was orcish, but like mildly,
Orcish?
like definitely not.
Oh, somewhere down the line.
Yeah, like orcish heritage, I think, definitely not
Hmm.
a full orc, or even half.
All right.
Yeah, no, it was something about money, obviously, because that's what we do here. But
It's always. I mean, when is it not with these people?
yes, but yeah, that's the most exciting thing that really sort of happens around here. It's just rich people worrying about getting more money out of their banks or whatever.
Of course it is. Is there, like, were they from Old Town, or were they local? Or I know you. I've only heard what I've heard, so.
I'm not sure. I will say they definitely didn't give off the air of like a super stuffy rich person. It seemed like they're more of
Oh,
a laborer kind, I think.
like the industrial sort.
Yes, definitely. Someone.
Were they like? Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, just saying.
I was just gonna say, were they dressed like mm, the people I came
They
in
dressed.
with, or
They dressed well, but also practical, if that makes sense.
oh, like if they needed to haul something into a truck, they could without ripping and tearing. Fancy clothing.
Yeah.
Oh yes, fair. Well, and I kind of like look through my basket, and I'm like, no, don't accept this if you feel uncomfortable. But like, she brings out like one of the chamomile tea bags that she has just on. Sometimes like, and sometimes the people around here me get a bit too stressed, and I have to make tea on the go. And if you've got the hot water around, it helps calm the nerves.
Oh, I thank you. I love chamomile.
It's on. Did you know? Actually, I got told this the other day, and like, Miss Cotta's face goes or like, Miss Cotta's face, not droops, but like, looks on with a sort of soft smile. I was told that that people who needed money or were like into gambling or something. I don't remember it. Not that you're the type, but they used to rub chamomile between their hands for luck. Apparently.
Oh, you learn something new every day.
Right. I'll enjoy.
Thank you. So I must
Alright.
get back to.
Yes. Sorry. What was your name? I feel so bad. I'm Miss Cutter.
Lovely to meet you, Miss Cotta. I'm Maxine.
Maxine. I'll best look like I'm supposed to be doing my job. Thank you so much for taking your time with me.
No worries.
And Miss Cotter will keep eye out.
Yep. For something. And
Uh-huh.
we shall move into the office of Ivania Sidorano. How do you enter?
I turn the door handle and swing it inwards and stride in, chest puffy and head held high.
I loom behind him.
Like a dark and ominous shadow.
You walk into this quite nice. Sorry. This office, you went down the hall and down, like, turned left, and you went up some stairs. This office is actually on sort of the top floor of this building. And as you got up to the top of the stairs, there was just two offices, and one was that didn't have a name on it, and the other had Ivani Sidorano. So you made your way into that office. This is a decently sized office, and has quite a few windows on it, so it's well lit. There's bookshelves and filing cabinets and stuff all around. In front of the desk, so this nice, well-carved mahogany desk. Sitting behind it, you see a dark elf man, well-dressed, kind of thin, kind of balding. The hair he does have is sort of combed back, kept short. And in front of this nice desk is two other chairs. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, I think you might. Do you mind if I take a seat?
Please.
Thank you.
Which
I
one of
follow
you?
up and I stand behind him.
I was told one of you were are an accountant? I'm a very busy man. What can I help you?
Please, we're investigating the disappearance of two individuals that seem to have gone missing last night, or at the very least have not been heard of since.
I
flip over my notebook, looking.
Are you with the
important.
watch?
Yes, I'm working on their behalf.
How did you find out?
Sorry, just is the door shut?
Did you shut it?
I very specifically would have shut it.
That's fine. And then yes, it is.
Cool.
How did you find out about this?
That would be because I told him, Mr. Ciderano. My name is the Accountant, and I share an employee with someone who employs you, Mr. Artello.
With that, his eyes sort of like widen with kind of recognition. He's like, "Oh, out. Wait, two individuals. Is someone else missing along with my Azalea?"
Yes, a good friend of ours, but we'll get to that in a moment. What can you tell us about your missing person?
Well, my dear Azalea, last I saw them was the night before last. Had family dinner together. They went to work the next day, and they usually go out after work on those days for drinks. So I thought nothing of them coming home late. Come
Do you
morning,
know any place in particular they would go?
I believe it's something. It's something animal, like cats. The fox's glove, I believe, in Alberta. Yes, they seem to like it there. But yes, thought nothing of it, of them not being home by the time I go to bed. And then I came to work this morning and found this letter under my door. And he throws you a note, like about A4 size piece of paper, sort of folded into thirds.
Interesting. I unfold it and hold it in a manner that the accountant can read over my shoulder.
On it, it's simply written some words. We have your kid and evidence of your work with the Atellos. Do not go to the watch. Follow any future instructions and nothing bad will happen.
Ominous. Well,
Have you received...
I'm not officially from the watch, so technically I haven't broken that rule.
Good, that is why I asked. Yes.
Rest assured, Mr. Ciderano, I have no intention of doing anything that will endanger the life of your daughter.
Yes. And I can assure you, if anyone, well, almost anyone from the watch is asked, they will 100% tell you that I am not with them and do not represent them in any way.
That doesn't reassure me, but thank you.
Now, as to such perpetrators, are there any individuals who would wish you harm or that of your child?
I can't imagine Azalea has any enemies. They just work at the council chambers. I believe as a receptionist or an intern or something. As for me, I mean, I deal with money, and there have been times where some people just... The most recent one I can think of is a man named Pat. He lost his business to some financial troubles, and I couldn't help him. And I mean, it's not my fault, but he seemed to blame me and got quite aggressive. Can't think of anyone else, at least recently. Maybe it's more of a long-term thing, but I'd have to go through my records and see if I remember. I deal with a lot of people, and yeah.
Now, question.
Mhm.
Avani, if I may. You seem to be keeping your composure quite well, given this information. I happen to find that rather strange, given my own reaction to when I heard the news.
It's... I wasn't handling it well this morning, I can tell you that, but I sort of just... I was focusing on my work up until now. I contacted Mr. Otello, and he said he would put his best man on it, and it's...
Keeps sweating his tie.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm not... I'm very, very worried for Azalea, but I don't know what else I could do right now. You know, if I seem to be... I just figured if I go a bit... I'm just hoping that you can handle it, because I can't do anything personally, and I don't want to upset the people who have them, so...
no, of course. Please, do not take this as a sign of disrespect. I am merely very thorough. I have one simple job to do, and there is no one who is going to stand between me and the completion of that job. That would include yourself, to be confirmed. But, as it appears, truly you are as much a victim in this as your beloved child. Now, I must ask, is there a Lady Sidorano?
Yes.
That's a good one.
She'd probably be at home or out shopping or something today. I'm not sure what her plans were.
And is she aware of either the disappearance of young Azalea or some of the nature of your business dealings?
He definitely looks down at his desk. He's like, I have not informed her. I don't know how she would react. It's only been I only found out this morning. I haven't seen my wife yet. I don't want her to worry. And she also does. She knows I deal with money, but I've never done anything illegal. I just...
No. Of this I am also aware. Very good. In that case, I would recommend you continue the course you have set for yourself. Rest assured, we will find your child.
Thank you.
I agree. As callous as may sound, involving her at this point, we don't know how she might react. She could go to the watch, and that could cause all kinds of problems.
I had similar thoughts. Yes.
You said they may be in contact once again. Or rather, they said they would be.
Yes, I don't know how they plan to contact me.
Just a question from the player here.
Mhm.
Am I able to give my spellstone details over to this person? That does work that way, right?
Yeah, I was literally just going to have him ask if you have a spellstone, so we're definitely on the same page there.
Yes.
Oh yes.
A psychic brain in this group, I swear.
I do.
Well-
I do have. Would you prefer? I think I prefer you to have the office. So no, I will give you my personal one just in case things happen outside of office hours.
Totally. Very well.
And The accountant's gonna reach into an inside pocket in his jacket, and this is, I think, this is new to Scoop. He's definitely not seen this before. He pulls out a notebook, flips it open himself, jots down some with a small little pencil he keeps in there, takes that piece of paper off, puts it back in the inside pocket, and hands it over to the gentleman.
Interesting.
Thank you. While you were doing that, Sidorano was scrolling like on a little notepad he has himself, and you swap information.
Not wanting to feel left out, Scoop does so as well. I don't know what he's writing, but
What
he's
information
writing
does Scoop give?
Can I roll performance to just mime writing?
Sure.
It's fairly convincing since he can write in his notepad invisibly. But let me have a look here. Performance. That's a 10.
Alright, I mean, it's not hard to mime writing. You definitely look like you're miming writing. And yeah, Sidorano seems too preoccupied with, memorizing the information he got from the account. Are you handing this piece of paper over, Scoop, or are you just like...
No, just keeping for my own notes.
Okay.
Before you mentioned an individual, this Pat.
Yes.
Is there any more details you can give us on them?
Not really. They weren't even a client here. They just the other week they stormed into the building and were getting aggressive, saying that apparently I cheated them out of their business and things like that. And we had to escort them out. They were being ridiculous. I don't remember much else apart from that. I assume they lost their business to one of our other clients, maybe. Sure.
Interesting. Well, I believe that is everything that I needed from this. And I turn to Scoop.
So, this Pat, he would have had to sign in, right? And I pull out the scrubbing I made earlier to see if I can find the name.
I don't think he did. We don't sign in visitors anyway, but like he just kind of stormed in.
Scoop will be the death of me, I swear.
Yes, well, it's a shame.
But
It would have been very
he
handy
was-
to have some contact information for him.
Yeah, sorry. That's all I know.
Can you give me a physical description of this person?
Oh yes. He was tall and but not as tall as either of you. But he seemed healthy and fit, like well built. Like he had a life of hard labor, but he was dressed well enough. So he's saying that he had owned a business, so I assume it must have been some kind of business. But yes, he was mildly orcish, I would say, like slight green tinge to his skin and very, very small tusks, brown shaggy hair, about ear length,
Brown hair.
kind of curly. Eyes were like a hazel. I got a good look at his face. He was right up in mine.
Interesting.
This is a strange question. Was there any scent of the sea, ocean, fish, anything of that nature, as you were so close to them?
Lavender.
Maybe I vaguely remember them having like kind of bad breath, but I don't remember much more of that. I didn't really take notice.
I see.
Of course. Understandable, given the situation you were in. And, well, you seem to be quite busy. I gestured towards all the papers on his desk.
Distracting myself, yes.
perhaps that is all you can do in this moment. If that is everything, and I once again look towards Scoop.
Did he lean over anything? What was his exact actions when he entered the room? He pushed the door open, presumably, stormed towards you, and put his face in yours? Did he put his hands on your desk or anywhere else?
Yes, I think he did. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, no, he leaned over this desk. Yeah, I'm assuming his hands were on it.
I'm gonna look at the desk. Is the desk covered in like papers or anything, or is it like a hardwood desk or one of those ones like that?
It's
Mahogany.
it's a well polished mahogany desk. There's definitely papers over it. It's also seems to be quite clean. Like it gets wiped down on the regular.
I'm gonna like lower myself and look across the thing to see like the sheen of the table. And I'm gonna look for a handprint of any kind,
Alright.
preferably one facing inwards,
Yep.
like the opposite of what the direction he would be.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, give me a perception check, I guess.
Oh, goody. Let me have a look here. I have to see. No, it doesn't help. So, perception. That is 15.
You give it a good look. There's definitely a lot of light coming in from the windows and stuff, so you would notice any sort of scuff marks on this table. Unfortunately, it does look like it's been, like... There's, like, a couple of smudges from, it seems like, Ciderano from today, but, like, nothing, like, a handprint looking that you're looking for.
Damn. Darn. Well, we'll have to look elsewhere.
Do you mind if we take that letter with us, by the way?
Yeah, I have no use for it.
Thank you.
I pass it to. Well, I'll take it and pass it to Scoop.
Yeah.
This is something we are definitely sure the perpetrator has touched. Perhaps you'll be able to find something here.
Yeah.
Good point. I would also like to look it over. When you said it's got the words on it, is it, what kind of ransom note are we dealing with here? Is it written? Is it cut out newspaper?
It is written. But like very like it's I mean it's handwritten. You see, like, you feel it's like a very generic kind of pen sort of wrote this there. Like, you wouldn't say it's like not fancy script done with a quill or anything, just what is
I like to hold it up to the light.
what is
see
your
if there's any like wet spots.
what is your passive perception?
Passive perception 19.
Okay, yeah, you notice there is like a dirty sort of smudge on one of the corners.
I hold up, seeing if it's like a wet spot or perhaps a bit of like ink that has been smushed on there or some sort of other residue.
It looks like rust.
Interesting. I pull out like a small like container from my pocket and like try and scrape a little bit off into it.
Yeah, it's not like it's just a very small sort of smudge on the corner, but like you get a little bit of rust flakes, I guess. It's
I'll pop a cork in that and put it away. I also pull out like a small like. This seems like a weird out of character question, but does plastic exist in our universe? Because I was gonna say a Ziploc bag.
I don't think so. No.
Maybe it's like a silk or a linen like little.
Yeah, you could have like a
plastic
pouch of something, like a fabric pouch, but yeah, plastic definitely no. Glass at best.
Ziploc bag. It's got like a lock attached to it though, as like the embroidery. It comes from zip and locks. Fine pouches. They're like thin, paper thin, but durable. They're used for spellcasting components. It's
Well,
why
thank
Scoop's
you.
always broke. They're expensive.
Yes. If you get another letter like this, be sure to call my friend.
Of course.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Ciderano. And might I just say, you have an excellent desk.
Thank you.
Yes. Very clean. Scoop says angrily.
He looks kind of confused at why you're being angry about that, but yeah.
That will lead us back out.
Oh, this seems. Can I give the paper a quick dusting to see if there's any prints upon it?
Yeah. You
And,
have like a dusting kit? Yeah.
I have chalk.
Okay. I suppose that works. Roll.
Littered with chalk dust.
What skill would that be? Be like a tool
Sleight of
proficiency.
hand.
Yeah. I'd say probably either investigation even works. I'd say.
Alrighty then.
He is investigating.
Yeah.
As an
25.
investigator, it's like a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you managed to find some fingerprints on there.
If you don't mind, Mr. Ciderano, do you mind just pull out a bit of paper and like? Do you mind if we just put your print here so I can discern which ones are yours and which ones are perhaps the kidnappers?
Roll a persuasion.
Fuck. Well, it's not bad on the die face. My persuasion's +0, so 10.
10. Reluctantly, but yeah, he's like, okay. And lets you get a copy of his prints.
Alright, so and I start looking at the paper like one by one.
Yeah, there are some of his prints on there, but there seems to be another set on there. Slightly, like, almost larger, like they're kind of like, thicker sort of fingers.
Interesting. I pull out my notepad and try and do my best to do the swirl of the print.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps this would be better suited to your office. We could go there now.
Not a bad idea. I have better equipment there. I mean, I can't do
Open
something.
the door, and I gesture out.
This
And,
man, you've decided to be your friend, Mr. Accountant. So this is your buddy.
I turn to Mrs. Ciderano. Don't worry. The best men and women are all in this. We will find your child.
Thank you.
And I close the door behind us.
Mhm.
Well, I
Make
turn to
away.
Miss.
Yep.
I turn to our companion. I think we found out a fair bit.
So far,
that's
so
just me.
promising.
And we'll compare notes.
We can do that now. I hope you don't mind. They seemed so helpful. I decided to take a page out of your book, as it were.
Oh, pure help.
Punjar.
56. We're doing better.
Okay. So you make your way back down the stairs and into the lobby, where Miss Cotta is waiting for you.
Miss Cotta, for her part, throughout this conversation, she's been doing kind of like a once-over, looking over the clientele, like basically still trying to not be too obvious
Mhm.
an individual. Like she's just there. She's just an assistant kind of vibes. After talking to Maxine, had kind of like, I'd honestly, the way that the doors are moving, stuff, like how things are delivered, that sort of thing, just getting a scope of the place.
Mhm.
And as for this, she's thinking about what has to happen next. And because she's a little distracted by that, when you guys appear, she's like, and when you guys eventually come back, because she can hear you arrive, she definitely, you see her kind of, I wouldn't say hide away, because that's the wrong way to describe it, but she had something in her basket that she kind of like tucks a little bit deeper into there. And it's very obvious that she's like trying to hide something that, not that she doesn't, she's trying to hide it, but that she's not necessarily supposed to tell you guys, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Like, as you arrive, and she's like, "Ah, is your business done for the day?" With like just this bright, secretary smile. And she kind of glances back over to Maxine as they probably share like a yep.
Yep.
We are finished here, and
Understood.
we should be leaving.
The
Understood.
accountant, without breaking stride, just keeps going.
Come along.
As like they both exit, there's a stay safe. To make sure that if that person comes around again, call the watch or something. My goodness, you shouldn't have to deal with that.
And then there's a nod
And-
from and a smile from Maxine.
And steps out. What you get? I'm assuming you fill me in with the details.
I pull out the note and show you. It seems this person has been contacted for a ransom. Strange that this person has been and the Lord hasn't.
They might not have known who Janus was.
That's a good theory.
We also have this Pat fellow. Obviously, it doesn't sound like they are our criminal of choice, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they're somehow connected.
No, but were they a sort of orc-ish fellow?
That was the description we got, yes.
Yes.
Maxine behind the counter was very lovely and described that they seemed to be the industrial sort. If this rust is anything to go by, wouldn't be surprised me if that would be an association.
Well, we're in Old Town now. Where would the nearest laborer be?
Sorry. Where is the nearest laboring type district, is what Alex is trying to ask.
Yeah, so a lot of the industrial stuff in Arkpoint happens the other side of the river in Dwarnborough.
No.
Particularly West Dwarnborough, the one sort of closer to the ocean and closer to the mountains as well. It's, you know,
If
they deal
it's
with
got rust. Sorry.
yeah, so that side of the city sort of, it's closer to the mines in the mountains and stuff. So a lot of any of the ore and stuff they have to process tends to go through there.
And if there's salt in the air, there's a higher chance that the metals around might be rusting. Unless it's something like a scrapyard, where stuff goes that like people don't necessarily need it anymore.
That is true.
While he didn't have a particular sea scent to him, as was described, he definitely had a pungent odor, I believe he said.
I was told that they dressed well, but with the ability to sort of get to work as quickly as possible. So, someone who makes enough that they dress that way, or came into an accounting firm representing themselves, such as. So perhaps it was, as you said, an owner of some sort of business that relies on metal and salt. Well, not salt, rusty machinery, sort of. What do I know? I'm not gonna lie. My geography's crap when it comes to the city. I know it by its shadows. I know it by the way it's laid out. I don't know it by its names usually.
Yeah.
So
like, you know
as
that
I
there
wrote my
are
name,
there are factories and stuff towards the western side of the city, sort of away from a lot of the more
Right.
residential and commercial areas. So you know that area. I mean, if you want to roll, like, I don't think Miss Cotta would know about any particular ones, so yeah.
No, but I would say that what she's kind of thinking is more, what can she narrow down the information that we've gotten so far of? She's also desperately trying to do this so we don't have to go towards the Fox's Glove for various reasons that I cannot. It's a 7.
Yeah. yeah, like if at best it would probably be on that side of the city, maybe. The only other thing it could be is like, I don't know, maybe someone in one of the market districts is selling rusty things. Rust exists a bit everywhere, but if you combine laborer kind of person with rusty metal,
Rusty materials.
it's probably the industrial area, West Warnborough.
Well, at least that's the city narrowed down.
If I am perfectly honest in this moment, something about this does not sit right with me.
Which
In
part?
fact, a lot of things about it. Well, Mr. Ciderano could come up with no obvious enemy. He is not particularly tied to any crime. So there is no one particularly, how do I say this? There is no price on him, as it were. The removal of him would not gain anyone very much favor, nor would it lose any. The kidnapping of their child would be to get them to do something, but I couldn't tell you what that would be. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I can only think that perhaps if they are being targeted or set up, either or, that somebody needs their connections or who they're connected to. You mentioned that they have, and she's like leaning in a little to the family. But an accountant in Old Town? Not you. An accountant in Old Town that has connections to some of the most powerful families in all of Arkpoint. That is someone to threaten if you need information on those people, especially financial ones. And especially if they haven't said to go to the watch. If they know that you shouldn't be going to the watch, it's either potentially, my interactions with this sort of thing are usually end in a full stop. It's either this individual Pat, was it? It's either this individual Pat is fully believing that they have been torn and thrown asunder and have done something in a fit of rage, or they're being set up for the same reasons and blamed for someone who wants the connections that Mr. Ciderano has.
That was the conclusion I was leading to as well. Mr. Ciderano happens to be a placeholder, as it were. Any other person who worked in this building with any other child would have suffered the same fate. It is not who he is, it is what he has connections to. Would you agree?
I think that's fair. But we know that... Okay, we understand that Janus is likely in West Borough with something with Rust, right?
Mm.
How do we make that area of thought much smaller? I mean, we can go investigate, but I think I'll stick out like a sore thumb.
I have a question, Mr. DM.
Yes.
I have this cool little background feature that I haven't touched for a little hot minute.
Yes. Your
Criminal
criminal
contact.
connections, yes.
Dun dun dun!
Do I know anyone who can scry?
Ooh,
Ooh! Ooh! Oh, snap.
that's a good question. Roll me, you know what? You can roll me a fate check.
It's the fate roll.
Now, I did say I retired from dice rolling earlier, so this is under duress, and I want that on the record. Percentile, correct?
Percentile, yes, correct.
Meaning of life, 42.
I don't think you do, unfortunately. Like, scry is a pretty rare, magic in general in Arkpoint is like it's you know it exists definitely, but most it's very specialized individuals that tend to have it. Like
Hi.
like you could probably find someone in the city, but they would probably charge quite exorbitantly as well. Because
Because I could probably only find one in the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It'd be very expensive.
Well, perhaps at the very least there might be more information to gain at the Fox's Glove. We have some things. Perhaps we could find out a description of the people who took young Janus.
That does raise an interesting point.
Yeah, sure.
We also need to determine if it's perhaps a single individual working alone or a group. If it's a single individual,
It
It
couldn't
might-
be.
Not with two of them. Unless they're, like, of the equivalent might of gestures at the accountant again.
they very well would be. Working
Yes,
as a dark
but we
worker.
would probably know about them by now.
Another thought. And I'm gonna do the out of character thing too. Cosmo, do I know anyone that might be able to do alchemy supplies or test the piece of rust that I have?
give me a fate roll.
Where's my dice?
I had someone asking me about how the fate mechanic worked in, like, games that I ran or everyone else runs, and I'm like, I'll get you an example. Thanks, guys.
Can't really hold my desk tray up, but 92.
92.
Ooh!
Yeah. you probably know an alchemist.
They're probably a drug dealer, though, because you know them.
Where's the lie, though?
You don't know that, though, just to clarify.
I mean, anyone I know that's an alchemist is likely one, so, like, I'm not judging.
What, Mr. Building Safety Inspector?
I mean, technically, you all met an alchemist at the soiree.
He's dead.
No,
Does anyone know a necromancer? No.
I meant the no, you don't remember. Never mind.
I'm actually
They
racking
weren't
my
a
brain now.
major character, but they
My
existed.
notes only
It
go back to the
wasn't
start of
not
the
Jeff
game, damn it.
Bezos.
No,
It was an alchemist.
it was Robin, the dwarf.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The one that was giving the information about the
Yeah.
But
yes.
the
I
dragon
have no idea if Scoop
Oh,
would stay in
yeah.
contact with them because they were actually literally the leader of the guild, like the alchemist
They
guild.
were.
So I feel that's a bit above Scoop's position. But yes, Scoop, you would know
Okay.
an alchemist who could get it tested.
Alright. I suggest we quickly, just to make a stop there, I know someone that could test this rust for us, maybe determine where it came from, which would narrow down our search area.
How long would it take to do?
Well, if we leave it with them, and they can contact perhaps the accountant, they can be working on that while we're working other avenues of investigation.
It'd have to be quick. I'm really concerned. Like, usually these things have a time limit, don't they? The fact that they haven't given one's a little bit more concerning to me.
At the very least, the note we have indicates that they intend to send further instructions. They wouldn't intend to send further instructions without having a plan in mind, or perhaps we know at least that whatever they're planning has not come to its full fruition.
The note said. Did the note say something about them just having a child?
I believe
The exact words were, "We have your kid."
Right. So, perhaps they wrote it before they even got Janus. Because that's one. That's only an individual, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't. The grammar doesn't explicitly rule out the idea, or
That does. Perhaps that was just a thought. All right, but
To be perfectly frank, Miss Cotta, we only have one course
she
forward.
smiles.
At this moment, there can be no doubt in any of our minds that Janus is alive and well, because anything else would be unacceptable.
Yes. Well, it would.
So we will continue, believing this to be true, and that we will recover him in such condition.
We will.
Additionally, we can only hope if our theory rings true, and perhaps they don't know who they've captured in the form of Janus, that Janus doesn't make it obvious that he's the Lord
Say
Sun.
anything?
That could complicate things immensely.
Oh, I just hope that wherever he is, he's okay.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Yes.
Batman transition.
Yay.
Do. I don't know why I went into the Pokemon theme.
So yes, somewhere elsewhere, if this app will work for me. There we are. Yeah. When
That's me.
Yes. When we last left you and I should bring Azalea up as well. There we are. You and young Azalea were tied together, sort of back to back, hands and feet sort of tied, so it was hard for you to move. You found yourself in a dark room. Unfortunately, very little light here for your human eyes to make anything out, but as Azalea described, that you seem to be surrounded by like piles of scrap metal or something.
Yeah. that sounds right.
And
I think you mentioned machinery.
yeah, like you were attempting to make your way towards what they described as like a drill, I think. But you were unsuccessful in enabling, like, you were just your restraints were just too well done. You weren't able to get it, and I think as we last left you, the door to this room was open.
You can't play dead now.
No. And yeah, so you see a figure, like the light outside of this room sort of shines in, and you see this figure enter. Were you or Azalea sort of facing the door? Yeah, I'll
That's
just.
a fair point.
It was Azalea. I just rolled a random. So you'd have to be sort of straining your neck if you wanted to look at this. You're back to back.
I think we did manage to rotate at some point, but I can't
yeah.
remember how far.
Yeah, you might be. They're pointing towards. I mean, you catch a glimpse of the figure as they speak. Just not a good look at it. Give me a perception check. Just a flat roll. It's fine. You're not going to glean heaps. But
I can get you an 8.
an 8. All right. Well, I'll give you with an 8 is that this figure seems a bit shorter and a bit stockier. You would assume about a dwarven build.
Okay.
But yeah. And you hear them say, "You're finally awake?"
Does Azalea react to that in any way?
No. They're sort of. They kind of just like turn their head to kind of catch your eye.
Janus manages a. Morning.
Good morning. How'd you sleep? And the figure comes closer. You sort of hear their footsteps. Like you can, the door now open is casting a bit of light into this room. Like you do make out, like, yeah, you seem to be surrounded by, like, just bits of scrap metal. You can't make out any details. And yeah, this figure is walking towards you.
How'd you sleep? Oh, a pillow would have been nice, but we'll manage.
That's good to know. We'll remember that for next time.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Who are you? And what the fuck, mate? You gave my boys a bit of a hard time. And they get closer, and like they've sort of squatted down in front of you, and you see that they're holding a knife. Your knife.
My knife.
Yes, your boot knife that you pulled out during the fight.
Huh. Is that where that went?
I mean, we couldn't let you hold on to it after the mess you made. And as this figure is now closer to you, they seem to have some, like, their hair is kind of not pointy. The hair seems to stick up a bit, but has like a kind of a weird texture to it, like not like hair you've seen before. But you can't quite make out the details in the low light. So,
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
yeah. My name's Hawk. What's yours?
Janus thinks about that for a moment. What do you think, Ez? What's my name?
I'm what do you want me to say? As has no idea what's.
That's right. Worth a shot. I'm Janus.
Nice to make your acquaintance, Janus. Now, you've made things a little difficult for us. See, we were just here to grab young Azalea. But you've got yourself tangled in this
Yeah, it looks at the ropes. I get it. Tangled.
mess. They chuckle at that and they're like, yeah, it's kind of funny. What's not funny is that you've complicated this whole endeavor. See, I don't know who you are. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't. I have nothing to gain from keeping you around. You're just another problem for me to deal with, but I can't just let you go either, because that would also cause more problems in the long run, honestly. So, I just need to ask you an honest question.
Alright. I'll see what I can do.
will you... Oh, that's a question. Well, just a request. If you cooperate with just holding tight and just letting what we have to do play out, at the end of it all, you'll be let go. And along with Azalea, like, we don't want to hurt you guys. But it's unfortunately not really up for us. It comes down to Mr. Ciderano. Depending on how he cooperates, things should go smoothly or not. We'll find out in the end. But all I'm asking is that you don't make a fuss. And we won't hurt you anymore. Deal?
Janus kind of stretches his jaw out a little bit where he got hit. Not make a fuss. I think we can do that. Just sit tight, get comfortable.
Yeah. Hopefully this will all be over real soon. Like, we just have some business to deal with.
I am going to want that back eventually, though. He says, gesturing with his eyes at the knife.
You see them, like, sort of, like, toss it up and, like spin it in the air and catch it again. They're like, all right, deal. Once this is all over, I'll give this back to you.
Oh, excellent.
Till then, I'm holding on for it just in case.
Don't lose it, okay?
Yeah, no worries. And they stand back up, and they're like, all right. Now, shouldn't be too much longer. Probably only keep you another day or two at most. We'll get you some water and food. And as you walks back to the door, you hear them shout out, "Oi, Banjo! Get them some grub. You don't want them starving to death on us." And they close the door, and you hear it sort of lock behind them.
Janus immediately as soon as that door is shut, he's like, "Oh, those guys are so dead."
What?
I'm
Dead?
gonna
What?
cause problems on purpose.
What do you... What did you do, Janus? What's gonna happen to us?
Us? Well, if Mr. Hawk is a man of his word, very little. We might even get some food and water. Although I wouldn't count on it just yet.
Okay.
As for them? Well, I did tell my dad I'd be home last night.
Yeah, he's probably got the whole watch looking for you, wouldn't he?
Yeah, probably. Hopefully the good ones.
Are they bad ones?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I really do want my knife back though. It'd be so good for getting through these knots. But that's fine. He'll give it back.
Yeah. Did you want to try and cut the rope again, or do we want to just sit still and let this play out? Like, I think there's clearly more than one of them out there. Do you think we could escape even if we cut these ropes? They seemed pretty on the ball when they heard us make some noise.
Just out of curiosity, was I able to see much more in the room when the light came in through the doorway? So to get a decent look at the room, or at least
with
half
that
a look.
with that 8 perception check, not really.
Nope.
Like, you definitely caught like the vague idea of what Azalea was describing. Like, that there seems to be like scrap metal and stuff but like doesn't seem to be much else in this room. It seems to be like scrap metal storage. You're not sure.
Okay. Hey, let's think. I'll come back to you on the cutting the rope idea.
Okay.
So that was your father they were talking about, right?
Yeah. It was like when they grabbed us, they said my father had sent them. They have business with him. I don't know what that's about. I mean, my dad deals with like rich people's money and stuff. Maybe they're just looking for a ransom, probably. I don't know.
If the ransom's what they want, then it doesn't do them any good hurting us any more than they have. So that's good.
Yeah, no, that's true.
They don't know who I am. That's good.
Yeah.
Imagine the ransom on both of us. That would upset some people.
Yeah.
That would really upset some people.
I mean,
my
if it's
mum's
just
probably worried sick. I'm not going to hear the end of it. I won't be able to go out ever again.
oh, that I mean, do we even? As seems like not sure what to say at that. Like, definitely seems to be caught on a couple of thoughts.
We're not dead.
No.
They're not hitting us anymore.
No.
He says, sort of straining his neck.
As you're saying that, you hear the door bolt open again, and the door swings open. Thank you. And someone else is walking in. They look taller, and still stocky, but taller. And they walk up to you, and they're like, I got some bread and water. I'm going to untie your hands so you can eat and drink. Don't try anything funny.
Okay.
This person, unties your hands, both of your hands, and they got like, it's like just some basic bread rolls and like a big sort of pitcher of water. And
is the pitcher made out of anything in particular? Is it like glass or made out of something more durable?
It's like what is it? Pewter? Like kind of metallic. And it's about, I'd say about like it would hold like 2 liters of water. And the bread rolls are like sizable. And they give you these bread rolls and the water, and they back off and stand near the door. Kind of, they've opened the door in a way that like lets light in a bit more, because you can see
it's dark as all hell.
Yeah, exactly, and you figure that they can't see as well. In fact, once the light gets in a bit more, you can see that this is just a human man.
Okay.
He's got a sort of rough 5 o'clock shadow, and just sort of short black hair.
All right. Well, I'll divide up the bread rolls evenly with Azalea. And...
Yeah, there's one each. Yeah. And yeah, the guy's just sort of watching you as you eat and drink.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to stretch, just on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. So your legs are still tied, and you're still kind of like there's like sort of a rope around your chest, that ties around Azalea's chest as well. So, but yeah, your arms are free to stretch, definitely.
Okay.
So, are you gonna do anything during this?
Aside from I'm gonna play along.
Okay.
Yeah, bread, water, looking around, sort of familiarizing myself with as much of the surroundings as I can see.
Mhm.
Sort of getting a gauge on how Azalea's doing.
They devour their bread. They seem pretty hungry. You maybe they're slightly hungover from their drinks last night. You're not sure.
Fair. Janus wouldn't be able to tell the difference at this point. His
Yep.
head's gonna hurt either way.
Speaking of, I'm gonna count this. You've been here a little while now. I'm gonna count this as a short rest. You may take a short rest. So, not a long rest. You don't get everything back, but anything you get back on a short rest, and you can roll some hit dice if you wish.
Yes, I think I will. Don't want to accidentally knock myself to 0 by bumping heads with Azalea again. Let's see. Woohoo! Yay! Whole 5 HP back. The D10 hit dice plus 3.
I mean, you can roll multiple on a short rest. I'll say no more than half your maximum. So I think you could roll three total hit dice.
I'll bet another one then.
Yeah.
That's more like it. And
yeah. Once
Much
you're
better.
sort of finished the food, and however much you want, the man walks up. He's like, "Are you done?"
Yeah, I think I'll be alright for a while. Az, how about you?
Yeah. No, I'm fine. Thank you. It helps a lot.
Much better.
No worries. I'm gonna tie you back up now.
Janus makes an audible, sad noise, but
Yeah. But yeah, this person ties your wrists back together and does the same to Azalea. Pretty much in a very similar manner to what they were before. So you suspect this was the person that tied you up in the first place.
I'm gonna watch him do it.
Yeah.
As much as my neck will allow.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a perception check then.
Sweet.
I see someone is still remembering their Boy Scout days.
I'm so proud right now, but I'm also screaming.
Well, you're gonna love this. That perception check is a 7.
Uh-huh.
Why do you do this to me?
God damn it, I'm in.
Well,
Thank you, Dice. They're just like you brought eyes, nah.
I mean, honestly, you feel one of your eyes is kind of swollen, so you're kind of only looking out of one.
Oh shit. Oh, I got beat up worse than I thought. Oh no.
Miss Cotta's gonna be very mad upon seeing that.
He says with a potentially broken rib.
Mm.
I like the idea that is what Janus is more concerned about.
I poked it before it hurt.
But yeah, you get tied back up. This guy takes the water pitcher with him and locks the door behind them.
back into the darkness.
Yes.
Huh. Okay. I think that might be the guy who tied us up before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the knots feel the same ish.
Okay.
Although I can't get a good look. Huh.
Yeah. I actually, yeah. Let's see if Azalea did any better than you. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was kind of watching. I think I could do it if like undo these, but I need like not with my hands. I definitely need something to work with. But I don't know, is that a good idea? If they're checking in on us a bunch, I'll probably notice.
Oh yeah, if we undo the ropes, they'll definitely find us. There were at least 4 of them last night, I think. One got you, one grabbed me, and the other 2 were kind of rough, actually.
Yeah. Roll me a history check.
Okie dokie.
I
I have
kind of
proficiency in this.
nice. I'm just kind of using this as a general memory, not actual like history. But
Dirty 20.
nice, Muddy 20.
Woohoo!
Muddy 20's in chat.
Yay!
What you remember
Proficiency bonus.
of the 4 that grabbed you, you remember the bugbear who grabbed you.
Yep.
You remember that it was that human man who was the one that grabbed Azalea.
Mhm.
And the other 2 were a halfling and someone mildly orcish.
Interesting. Okay. So we've seen 2. Haven't seen the big guys yet.
Yeah, so that dwarven sized fella who had your knife.
Yep.
Definitely didn't see him last night.
Okay. All right. So there's 4, maybe 5 of them. A lot of rust. No, not rust. Yes, rust. These people need to look after their machinery more. I only got a brief look. Okay. Oh, I hate this. I don't know what to do. I mean, the smart thing to do would be to sit still and do nothing, but...
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, yeah. Like, they already got you pretty good. Like, I don't think we...
I'm feeling a bit better, but
yeah,
I'm in no state to be taking on...
Yesterday. Yeah, last night you were drunk. Today you're all beat up, but I don't know. I don't think it's... I'm definitely not gonna, like, I can't fight like you did, Janus.
I'll have to teach you sometime.
Sure.
I think the smart thing to do here is to sit and wait. So far, so good.
Okay. Yeah.
Get a good look in when you can.
We'll
They haven't blindfolded us. That's their mistake.
so you sit and wait.
Yeah.
And with that, I mean we're almost out of
No.
time for our session.
No,
I'm sorry.
don't do this to us.
Did I do this to you, or did you spend a lot of time roleplaying?
Hey, I was literally in one scene. Thank you.
I mean, as far as I can tell, I got 9 minutes to do a lot of things. So
Yeah,
let's,
come
let's
on.
go. Let's keep
Let's
it.
go. Come on.
I mean, if you want to, like, we can do a quick scene, I guess. I'm happy to keep playing. I just say we're not gonna get much done.
9 minute speed run. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Yes, the cliffhanger. Yeah, well, honestly, a lot of our sessions end in cliffhangers.
Mid-scene
That is
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Fret not,
Like-
back next week.
Ooh. Okay, but seriously though.
You wanna?
Can
Let's go.
Do you wanna
Yeah.
head
Let's
off
go
to?
the,
Well, no, but yes.
All right. What do we want to do?
I would like to drop off that rust. I don't know, or check out the crime scene, or see if we can find the crime scene. I feel like Fox's Glove is a great start for next session.
Yeah.
That seems like a
I'm
big-
not sure you guys know exactly where it happened. Unfortunately, you probably would have to.
Look around.
I mean, if you want to roll me an investigation with advantage, because I'll say this. You may have gotten Mr. Sidorano's home address, and you know where the Fox's Glove is, so you can assume it was somewhere between those two areas. Actually, I would say with advantage, because that is kind of a long stretch, but
Yeah.
if you want to roll a quick investigation to just see if you happen to come across where the kidnapping took place.
All right. Investigation, you say? Let's see. I have a +8 to investigation, and I rolled an 18, so that's 26.
Jeez Louise, alright.
I was going to mention the extra insight the accountant might have into that, but
No,
Yeah.
Scoop's got this.
yes, he does.
The accountant probably helped. Like, Scoop wouldn't know where the Fox's Glove is. So yeah, you're wandering the streets towards the Fox's Glove, keeping an eye out for anything suspicious. And yeah, like, just, it's so small, but your keen detective mind spots what seems to be like some drops of blood just on the side of the street. It's, you know, there's people walking back and forth. It's amazing that you spotted this, but yeah. So you find sort of, yeah, on the side of the road, just some blood, and amongst that blood, you like sort of brushed up against like the gutter, almost caught like on a grate, is some
Oh no.
like kind of thick, almost dreadlocky kind of hair, a ruddy kind of brown.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Picking up, rolling into my fingers as I look around.
As you're doing this, a little older gnomish fellow sort of approaches you. Are you?
Hello there.
Hello. Are you with the watch?
Working with them on a case, yes.
Okay, because you've noticed the blood there, yeah?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think it might belong to a friend of mine.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, because yeah, last night I was sort of I was getting a late night snack and out my window. I didn't really see a lot of it, but there was definitely a scuffle sort of happened here. Like it looked like a couple of people got grabbed and taken away. I didn't really make out much details. I know one of the guys seemed kind of bigger, like almost kind of hairy. I don't know. I've never really seen someone like that before. And I think the other, like, there was another one that was, about my size, little, gnome or halfling or something. But yeah, they seem to just grab these two fellas off the street.
Excuse me, Mr.
I kind of gesture for his name.
Hi. He gets taken aback just at your looming presence, like this.
I was gonna
Ah,
say.
yes. The surprise.
I do sneak up on people quite well. Yes.
We have been through this. This is actually canon. You're an excellent sneaker.
I was gonna say that
I'm
DM instinctively looked up in their camera.
Yeah, I did. I'm Mr. Arnott.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Arnott. I would like to thank you for honoring your civic duty in talking to us upon this day.
Yeah.
Which direction did you happen to see the individuals depart from this area, if at all?
They sort of cut down that alley, just over there, and then I didn't really see more of it. I didn't.
No, I think you did the right thing, sir. It is best that citizens do not involve themselves in matters for the Watch. It is best to avoid further injury, so thank you for playing it safe.
Oh.
We appreciate that.
No worries. Happy to help though. I hope you find them. It didn't look good. I don't. Yeah.
Rest assured, sir, we will.
All right.
In your description, use the term they. That indicates there's more than one. Could you give us a rough estimation of how many people there might have been?
Yeah. As I said, I think there was about 4. There's like 6 people. Like four people grabbed 2 other people from my looks. As I said, like of the 4, there was like a bigger one, like 2 kind of just normal looking people, and like a smaller one. I like it was dark, and I was looking through my window. I didn't see much more than that. Sorry.
Can you describe? Was there shouting, sounds of perhaps weapons clanging, or?
Yeah, no, like the 2 tried to run. They were like, one of them like kicked one of them in the down under. But
Who says in that accent?
I'm sorry. It just
It's perfect.
yeah, it just but yeah, that's I didn't see much. There was a struggle. But I didn't think I was going to be able to help in any way, so I just sort of watched so I could tell someone.
Well, that's good.
Like one of the people definitely seemed to be fighting back, but there was too many of them, and they're all bigger. Well, most of them were.
That sounds like the person we know.
I
Well,
think.
we will.
Sorry. I think at this point, Miss Cotta's kind of like sort of shaking with a little bit of fury, a little bit of like anger, as like she thinks about like what this means in total. And as like they're handling it, she's kind of just listening in, being like, "Ah, yes, I am still concerned," to Secretary Face. She's keeping an eye out on the rest of the street.
Yeah.
Like, does she, due to backstory shenanigans, how does she knows how quickly one can kind of maneuver through those streets? Like, like, does she recognize that like this would be the shortest path to X? Like, carrying 2 people is not easy.
No. From where you are, like the alley that they pointed down towards, like they seem to be heading west, basically.
Right.
So you suspect, it sort of confirms the suspicions of like, maybe it was somewhere in the western part of the city.
Alright.
You don't know the
Which
exact path they
confirms our
took from there.
previous- Okay.
Yeah.
this struggle, you saw it happen generally where the area of the blood is, or did it go all over?
I mean, it happened. Like, this was where the most of the scuffle was. There was like, they tried to run away from like over there. They got caught here, and that's basically all I saw.
Skip's gonna apply his magnifying glass and start checking the area for footprints, like scratches, things that could indicate.
Yeah.
Like, what's the footwear of
Roll
these
another
people?
investigation.
That's what I like to hear.
While he does that,
Yep.
I'll pull out my notebook and quickly just write down the details of the gnome's name, and then be like, and just to confirm, if we happen to need to talk to you any further,
So,
which
roll
apartment
one.
would you be in?
He points over just to the sort of the building across the road, and he's like, just number 3 over there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir. And rest assured, we will ensure these streets are safe. Don't be surprised if there is some remuneration for your efforts in your mail sometime shortly.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So I rolled a 1.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Unfortunately, like, you know, the day has gone on. There's a bit of foot traffic along these roads, so like, there's plenty of footprints.
How dare people walk?
You can't pick out anything in particular. Like, you was like, it was pretty impressive that you found this bloodstain in the first place, honestly.
However, as that's kind of a thing, I have a question. I don't know if I can do this. I hope I'm good enough.
Okay.
If I had 3 other guys with me, and I happen to be kidnapping 2 individuals, a situation that is not out of the realm for me, would I be able to kind of put myself in their shoes now that I know where they roughly started, where they roughly ended, where the scuffle kind of happened? Can I try and reverse engineer how I would have done it to try and get an idea of how it was done? Boondock Saints style specifically.
Okay.
There was a firefight!
What skill would I make you roll there?
Insight.
I was gonna say
honestly-
insight, honestly. I think insight.
I'd honestly assist with this if I can, because I too
I-
have many experiences tracking people, or no?
I will allow it.
Yay!
You have
Thank
advantage.
I'll say that the way
Or you
that
can
she's
roll as well, Miss
assisting-
Cotta.
It's alright. I'd say that the way that she's assisting is like checking trails, you know, oddly sniffing things.
Yeah.
So, sorry, that was advantage?
Yes.
Brilliant. 23 total.
Whoop.
Okay. So you're what exactly information are you trying to glean here? So you in your head, you definitely can kind of figure out like, if I were to do this, I would like, if I want to take them down that alley, I would probably want to catch them as close to it as possible. There's like this street is mostly residential, so if I'm going to do it late, people should be asleep. Yeah. You like, from what you can tell, they tried to do it professionally. Like, you think someone who did this would have a similar mind to you.
But they were not equipped for 2 people, were they?
Did not seem that way, no. Like, they, yeah, no.
So you kind of like follow them down. They came for 1 person.
Because, like, if you were to do it, you would bring more people if it was for, well, maybe not you personally, but, like,
If I
you're
were
like,
organized.
you want to carry someone, you either want someone very big and strong, or 2 people to do the carrying, and, like, someone scouting ahead and someone watching the rear. Like, you would want 4 people for 1 person, on average.
Okay, but they were waiting here. That means they knew that this person would be coming out of that bar.
Yeah, so you're a couple of blocks from the Fox's Glove.
Mm.
But you do suspect that like this is
It's
a pretty
the nearest
damn
alleyway.
yeah, this is a good place to get someone while they're still drunk and get them out of this area.
Which also means I know that they go this way.
Hmm.
I've followed them before. I know this route.
Alright. Well, do we still need to go to the Fox's Glove? I say totally not, with implications that I do not want to go anywhere near that place.
Unfortunately, I think yes. More so, given that the people who have pulled this off, it is very likely they have even attended the bar itself, if not scoped it out for a series of nights prior.
That brings up a good point. I was going to say it would help us establish a timeline, but I've read him. Mr. Arnett, can you tell me what time this happened?
Oh, it was definitely after midnight. I can't really. I wasn't sure on the exact time. Sorry.
Out of character, am I able to like throw some stuff out there, even though I have no proof to it?
I mean, you if you want to give some suspicions.
I was just
sure.
going to throw out some things like in the morning there's probably a work bell for like the dock workers going to work or stuff like that,
Mm.
and like trying to use that to establish a time frame.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I say something to those effects. There's usually a work bell in the morning that tells you when that's about to happen. There's a lantern lighter that'll come and put out the lanterns.
You know, I've never really seen what happens with the land. There's definitely no work bell or anything. We're pretty far from any place like that. Like this is mostly shops and inns and things around here, and just people living. So you're currently in the Albert Flat, the northwest, or north. Have I just gotten my east and west confused completely? This whole game.
Albert is to the...
Yeah, but Dwarnborough. Have I gotten that?
In fairness,
Dwarnborough
they are
is-
two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Dwarnborough
you
is
just keep
north.
going.
You are accurate, according to regular mapper.
Yeah, okay. I feel like we've got... Anyway, you're in the sort of northern area of Arkpoint and Albert Flat. This is a lot of... Like, this is kind of almost the touristy place of Arkpoint. Like, there's a lot of people from out of town come here and stay here, and, like, it's a general residential commercial area. Like, it's not fancy, it's not any of the richer places, it's not any of the poorer places. It's just kind of where the general public, a lot of them just kind of live.
I will say, as this is going on, and now that she knows that for 100% sure that we're going to go to the Fox's Glove, I think that Miss Cotta is going to take the accountant to the side, if I can, unless he isn't busy.
He is not.
Okay. I think we have east and west backwards on our map. Just looking at this. That's
is
why
correct.
I've been... Okay.
That's the orientation you gave me.
Yeah, no, that's on me. Well, north is down on this map, apparently. I don't know.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Fair.
Well, if
Anyway.
north is down, then it all works.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
technically, you're in the southern part of the city.
If you
Anyway.
buy the power from a merch store, you can just flip it upside down.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Or maybe just east and west are backwards in this world.
Dun. Plot twist. But she would try to pull him aside.
Okay. Oop. Just realized Azalea has been in that entire scene.
They were thinking about them. It's fine.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Yeah, we can. Do you want to do this scene now, or when we come back?
Well, can I drop it on a line? If
Yes,
we're gonna
let's
end it
let
up,
us
if we're gonna do a
let us do a cliffhanger line, please.
Mr. Accountant, sir, sorry, can I bother you for just a quick second?
Of course.
I cannot go in that bar. I can monitor the outside. I can do rounds. I can't physically go in for a couple of reasons, but I can't go in. I'm sorry.
Cam kind of takes a second thinking about it. Miss Cotta, I'm not going to pry. I'm not going to make you go in. But I just will. If you are in danger, you need help.
I'm not in danger. And whilst I might need help, I don't know if this is actually something that you could help me with. Oh, and she's looking like visibly upset, like visibly emotional. Whatever happens, whatever goes down, I need you to make sure that you don't say, I mean, not that they know it, but that you don't mention me or what I am or what I look like in that place. And no matter how much he pisses you off, and no matter how much you may want to smash his face in, please don't kill. At least don't kill Ricky.
There is like a visible confusion. Like, that's such a weird thing to say.
To be fair, you did threaten him at the end of the last
No,
session.
no.
You
I'm,
did.
as in, I'm confused. I'm like, why would you care?
Ah.
Not that I'm not going to hurt him. I'm going to hurt him.
Just, I understand if he needs to be smacked about. I understand if he needs to be, like, knocked out. Honestly, it's fair. Heaven knows how many times, and she's getting, like, visibly upset, how many times I've wanted to do it myself, but don't. And she looks at you with, like, this just solidly very powerful gaze. Please, don't. I'm begging you.
He holds it for a moment, but the accountant does break first.
Very well. I will make sure that when I leave that building, Mr. Ricky is perfectly alive and well.
And there's kind of like almost a hurt disappointment that he doesn't understand.
You don't have to go in. It's okay.
Once this is over, I pinky swear I'll tell you about it. No one knows, and they're not supposed to. I don't. Please. Thank you for understanding. I will tell you stuff later. I swear.
Miss Cotta, right now one of the people I care about most in this world is missing. I will not tell anyone what you do not wish me to tell them, unless it is an obstacle between me and that boy. Everything else is less important to me right now.
I understand.
But your secret will be safe.
I do care about Janus too. Don't worry. And if it has to come out to save him, I understand. Thank you.
Nods.
And like you've seen her, like she's like been clutching at her hand and like reaches, and you see her like reach back into her basket, like this basket that you saw her like sneak her hand in, and to the camera and only to the camera, you see her like holding a couple of sets of poisonous flowers, one of which is a fox's glove.
And with that,
Yeah!
credits roll. Next week on Arkpoint. Woo!
Thanks for that.
What do I do with my hands? What do I do with my hands? My character's like 6 feet away from this conversation.
Yeah, you were probably. This is probably while you were talking to Mr. On It or something.
Or while I'm trying to check the ground for things,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
establish a timeline with someone that just doesn't like keep time.
Fair.
So yes, that was the end
Thank you
of
for that.
that session. Thank you so much. Thank you all
Yeah.
for coming, and we will see you next week. So as always,
Oh man.
don't forget. That's right. Always remember to stay inspired.
Stay inspired.
Woo!
Inspired.
Love you all. Bye.
Love, bye bye.
Hanging out in chat, everyone.